CJI is going on to say that you have enough remedies. Why can't you go to the High Court? Let's get those lines for you, which are flashing on your screens. Wrong for Supreme Court to meddle if the case is from Delhi, is what the CJI has said. CJI tells Sisodia, you have enough remedies. We'll wait and watch to see how Abhishek Manu Singhvi responds to what the CJI is saying. Nalini, CJI has made it very clear it's wrong for us to meddle in a case which is coming from Delhi. So what happens?
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was saying, that they seem a little hesitant. These are still just oral observations. No final order has come in from the Supreme Court. For all you know, a mark of a good lawyer is when he convinces the bench something different from what their mind is already set
CJI
up
says
on.
you have enough remedies. We will be flooded. Justice Narasimha says it will send a wrong precedent just because an incident occurred in Delhi. We should interfere. Manish Sisodia's latest updates coming in. CJI Chandrachud says, we're not saying we are bereft of powers, but you have remedies. Justice Narasimhan has said it will set a very wrong precedent. Just because an incident happens in Delhi, it doesn't mean we should interfere. So there you go, that's the latest. CJI going on to say, you have enough remedies, we are going to be flooded and it will set a wrong precedent. So in case the Supreme Court is not willing, and as you are already right about mentioning they're hesitant, what really happens legally in this particular case? Does the petition get dismissed and does he have to go then to a lower court? Can you explain to our viewers the legal process, Nalini?
Well, that seems to be pretty much the gist of it. If the Supreme Court refuses to entertain his petition today, then he'll either withdraw the petition from the Supreme Court so that there's not an official order of dismissal on his petition, or the Supreme Court will go ahead and dismiss it altogether, and he will be allowed to exercise other legal remedies, which is basically go back to High Court. Because yesterday, during the proceedings in the trial court, Manish Sisodia had made a plea for interim bail, saying that his wife is not keeping well and that he should be allowed bail at least in the interim on these grounds. But at the same time, the trial court, the special CBI judge M.K. Nagpal, who was hearing the case yesterday, did not find any merit in that argument and has sent him to 5 days police custody instead. And that is what has led him to filing this urgent petition before the Supreme Court, seeking bail and trying to get some sort of a relief. But like I told you, the Supreme Court at this point is hesitant in interfering in this matter, and the reason for that is because there are other remedies, legal remedies, like going to the High Court, challenging the order of the trial court, that are available before Manish Sisodia, that have still not been exercised by him. The Supreme Court comes in as a last resort when all other measures have failed and all of the other legal remedies have failed. That is when you knock on the doors of the Supreme Court of India. But in this case, Manish Sisodia seems to have approached the Supreme Court directly. Now, we've seen a similar thing happen when Pawan Khera
I also have to mention that this is despite the lawyer for appearing for Manish Sisodia going on to insist that this is an extraordinary case warranting interference under Article 32 and citing a previous judgment in the Vinod Dua case as well. And despite all of this, you have the Supreme Court making their stance very clear, and CJI going on to say that it will be wrong for Supreme Court to meddle, and hence now we're looking at a story where Manish Sisodia would have to exercise his other legal options now. We'll wait and watch to see what happens, because the Supreme Court is hearing a plea filed by Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia challenging his arrest by CBI in the alleged Delhi excise policy scam. The matter is being heard at the moment, and Nalini is bringing us up to speed with the latest developments. Nalini, what has been the stance of Abhishek Manu Singhvi on the back of all we mentioned to our viewers in terms of what the Supreme Court has to tell the lawyer?
Well, Abhishek Manu Singhvi's main case over here is one that Manish Sisodia is in fact cooperating with the investigation. He's been called in by the CBI twice. He's come in both the times. He's cooperated with them. He's sat there for as long as they've wanted him to, and he's answered every question that has been put forth before him. There is no question of him evading any sort of arrest, or from fleeing from the country, or from tampering with evidence, or influencing any witnesses. And on these grounds, Abhishek Manu Singhvi is asking for bail from the Supreme Court. But along with that, what he is also saying is that there are established legal principles in the form of past judgments of the Supreme Court where liberty of individuals has been upheld, and he's specifically relying on late journalist Vinod Dua's petition where the Supreme Court had struck down the case that was filed against him regarding sedition.
That front is that CJI said that you can approach Delhi High Court. The Vinod Dua was a different case, and that case was freedom of speech and expression of a journalist. We're getting those latest updates, and Gaurav, you have those updates with us as well because you're taking this particular broadcast forward. You've got those updates that I have as well. If you could walk our viewers through the latest breaking news coming in terms of the observations that are being made by the Chief Justice of India as we speak.
It is a big setback for Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. The Supreme Court has told Manish Sisodia's lawyer Abhishek Manu Singhvi to approach the Delhi High Court. Chief Justice of India, CJI D.Y. Chandrachud says you have enough remedies, will not meddle just because this case is from the national capital Delhi. Manish Sisodia, through his lawyer Abhishek Manu Singhvi, has been directed to approach the Delhi High Court for bail. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud told the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister that the Supreme Court will not meddle in this case just because it happens to be a case of the national capital in Delhi. So the Supreme Court is hearing this plea filed by Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, challenging his arrest by the Central Bureau of Investigation in that alleged Delhi liquor scam or the Delhi excise policy case.